Hey everybody! Man, I don't even know how to do an intro for this video. It's just amazing to me how stupid, petty, and blatantly biased game journalists and generally brain-broken wankers can be. Today we're gonna be talking about two separate stories from two separate games connected by one thing: good-looking female characters, which is something that has been very blatantly attacked over the past few years in media. Honestly, more than just a few years, but definitely to a far worse extent in recent years. Where before maybe it was just a caution and desire for more realism and more varied roles for female characters, recently it has just been to deconstruct everything awesome about them and just turn them into men, basically. I talk about this thing every now and then, and whenever there are some relevant news in regards to it. Last year we cooked some activist nonsense to do with Dove and Epic Games, who wanted to make female video game characters look like this. We also cooked a bunch of Soyboys who couldn't handle the look of Eve from Stellar Blade, more than the look honestly, also her tone and her inherent femininity like in her acrobatics. And this year, just some months ago, we exposed and cooked PC gamers' hypocrisy because of writing suggestive articles about Baldur's Gate 3 and how certain scenes in that game made that little journo boy feel his pants tighten, but then at the same time condemning gamers as gooners for just appreciating Eve's design in Stellar Blade. And then like 2 months ago we also cooked some tourist cosplayer who was not only totally ignorant of the game she was bringing up, but was also trying to set records for how many strawmen can be used in an argument. I emailed Guinness about it, by the way. I think they'll be giving her a fucking medal for it next year. But today we're gonna be taking a look at some really salty sailors getting mad at two games for featuring good character design instead of self-sabotaging into making ugly-ass ones for the modern audience, which is also trying to set a world record for longest hide-and-seek streak. I also emailed Guinness about it, and they said that if nobody finds them in the next few months, they'll also be giving them a medal for that shit. So, let's just jump right in there and have some fun breaking down some more brain-broken delights. The first game in question is Lords of the Fallen 2. I talked about the first game earlier this year because of what was happening to the CEO and the developers was Oh, it was just so good. If you never watched that video, I'll leave a link in the description and top comment so you can check it out if you're interested and in the mood for a laugh. But long story short, just for context, Reddit moderators had a goddamn meltdown and banned the CEO and the developers of the game from their own damn game subreddit because the CEO did something terrible. A crime against humanity, really. Like, I'm not even joking here, guys. It was something so reprehensible that honestly, even I am uncomfortable talking about it. I don't even know if I can say it on YouTube. It's crazy. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, he made a poll. No, really, that's it. He made polls. The dude made polls over on Twitter asking the community about their preferences for their upcoming games. And there was a whole variety of questions. Some of them were about gameplay, others were in regards to whether they would prefer the preset names to be male and female rather than the body type thing, or if character appearances are important to players, like if they like their heroes, if they're male, to look, jacked and buff or something more low-key, or if they like their female characters to be also something more low-key or more on the attractive side. Literally just polls that anyone could vote in so that the developers could kind of get an idea of certain directions to take, both artistically but also when it came to gameplay, while making the sequel that they're working on right now, and also while releasing the updates for the previous game. And yeah, the soy jacks on Reddit said that it was literally a crime against human rights, so they banned them as if they had just invaded Poland or something. They didn't even keep the good ones. Like, there were developers that they said that they enjoyed and had good conversations with, but they got rid of all of them. Like, nope, summary execution. Everybody's out. What? Democracy? Voting for what you want on this plane of existence? No, sir. Well, anyway, fast forward to the Game Awards last week, and yep, Lords of the Fallen 2 had a trailer spot promoting their next game. Following that, they've been sharing some more details about the game on social media, including pictures such as this one, featured on this article from Insider Gaming, which is the protagonist of our story today. As you can see, we got a very good looking female character with her back turned. Here, you know, she's wearing a bit of a revealing outfit. I mean, I say revealing, but it really isn't even revealing, honestly, is it? I mean, like, let's get real, it's basically just a battle dress of sorts, but these days, where developers are making female characters that look like fucking tanks... pretty much anything is revealing. The article headline reads, Lords of the Fallen 2 will have attractive female characters in revealing outfits, CEO says. And that's all that it took to get game journos, developers, and other lovely assorted Soyboys seething. We even got Alyssa Mercante, ex-Kotaku journalist, crawling out of her hole to offer some soap to the CEO here. Which honestly is a W. Like, I'm not going to lie, this is like it's kind of emotional to me, because I mean, we all know Alyssa Mercante is not doing very well these days financially.
Other leading publications such as IGN and Gamer Network, which own sites like Eurogamer, have also experienced job losses. So gentlemen, once again, we are sending them all back. They're all going back.
Alyssa Mercante is not doing very well these days financially, and soap is not cheap. For her to just come out and offer it to a fellow man who might need it, I mean, I just wish that there were more good people like this out in the world. Anyway, we also got Paul Tassi seething over here, who has gone full pathetic, saying, you can just put this in your game and it's fine, you don't have to be a huge loser about it. And man, I immediately have some questions about this shit before we get to how this dude didn't even read the article. He just got baited by his colleagues in this rotten access media cesspit and got mad because he's a f***ing sorry guys, I just can't help it. Like, let me get this straight. Here we are in this Brokeback Mountain ass of a games industry for years now, getting told by activists, design and narrative consultants, and indeed entire game studios and publishers that, oh no, women have been harmfully stereotyped for years now in gaming, and so we shall no longer do any revealing outfits for them, or any risky designs, which literally comes down to making them look like men and dressing them in hazmat suits just to make sure that no bits of skin are being shown and no woman feels objectified. Like, this is what we've had going on for years now. This beauty, for example, is from Xbox Game Studios. Let's read. Microsoft cautions developers to avoid curvy female characters. The site titled Product Inclusion Action Help Customers Feel Seen what the f includes a bullet list of considerations they urge developers to make when working on their product, with language expressly condemning certain female characters as reinforcing negative gender stereotypes. I remember this like it was yesterday. I wasn't making videos yet, I was at work and I saw this on a spring afternoon. It was around the time before Stellar Blade released. In fact, actually the article has the date right there, never mind, March 25th, 2024. I was browsing the web having a nice break and bam, I get bombarded with this cringe care package, and that's when I found this list that I've brought up so often in my videos. A list of creative restrictions employed by activists in game studios and big publishers like Xbox, with far more stuff than the female restrictions, by the way. But what are these supposed female characters they condemn as negative gender stereotypes? Well, characters like Eve from Stellar Blade, of course, because they look unapologetically like women. A strong, striking, stylized design that is meant to basically be the ideal, sort of like male characters like Kratos and Dante in similar games such as God of War or Devil May Cry. These are characters who aren't supposed to look realistic. They're not supposed to look like me or you or your mothers. However, if you do happen to have a mother that looks like Eve, please give him my number. Anyway, they're not supposed to look like us, they're supposed to be striking, not boring or bland or even normal. They're not meant to blend in. They're super fictionalized, ass-kicking superstars. But you see, for fucktards like this, being a woman is an offense in and of itself. So anytime a woman looks beautiful and attractive, that's a problem. That's a monster in media, and it needs to be shut down. Help customers feel seen, they say. And yet, what about curvy women then? What about leaner women? Or thicker women? It seems like these people are only ever comfortable and done when the women in their pieces of media look ambiguous or just bad. I'll give you examples in a second. Oh, they'll sing the praises of diversity all day long, but their range of design is narrower than Borderlands 4's field of vision at fucking launch. In other words, their idea of getting rid of negative gender stereotypes and help real women feel seen is just to eliminate women altogether. And how about we just cut out this field scene bullshit once and for all? Whoever even said that this should be a thing that developers should focus on? Who the fuck made this up in the first place and decided that it was meant to be pushed as far as it has? Like, you wanna add more customization in an RPG? I get it, some people like to create versions of themselves in games. Fine, go ahead. But we have literally gone so far in the wrong direction that number one, we're putting this field scene dogshit mentality into everything when nobody asked for it. If I got a badass action game, I want a badass action character, I don't want myself in it. But worse, it isn't even about myself, right? It isn't even about individual customers feeling seen in an inclusion manner. It's actually the opposite. It's exclusion. It's making shitty character designs and forcing us to play as them, saying that representation is important. Representation of what exactly? Ugly, forgettable character designs? What are you, fucking stupid? Are you allergic to money? Who mandated this? Who said video games were meant to be your tools for social political ideations? Games are meant to be entertainment. We're gamers, we're nerds and geeks. We love escapism above all. And yes, that includes the female gamers. What do you think they create when they play an RPG? You think they create ugly-ass characters? Were you stupid? But hold on, because I'm not done yet. This one here is from Ubisoft, a quote from a game developer who reached out to Legendary Drops. The editorial direction and overall mindset shifted from boys club to safe content. Reaching for plain characters like K-Vess in Star Wars is the perfect example of this. The idea to have beautiful characters, such as in Baldur's Gate or Uncharted, is met with distrust. That's a goddamn quote. This next one is just a small callback to Dove and Epic Games, who openly came out and made the damn statement that the majority of female gamers hate all of these awful, attractive character designs that we had for years and years and years and years and years. And what they actually want is to be represented by what real women look like. Real beauty, such as these ones right here. I'm not even going to say anything else here, like I literally don't even fucking have to. And this one is from Del Walker, another game developer. There's a handful of times I've pitched black women characters that look like this, as he refers to the picture on the left, of course. Then, after 10 iterations, the concept or model comes back without a speck of the original beauty that I pitched. I'm not talking about mild changes, I'm talking about pose, aura, style, softness, age, flair. I hate giving Gamergate men fuel, but it's very difficult to pitch beautiful or vain black women in games without them coming back looking like grocery store aunties. There is room for both. Well, Del, I hope you never manage to pitch the characters that you want to, because despite seeing the goddamn problem, you still go and demean these Gamergate men as if they were some kind of disease, when in reality, we're the only ones actually fighting for having these companies do one of two things: wake the hell up and make appealing designs, or get exposed for the backdoor influence bullshit that they're pulling so they go out of business faster and stop turning beauty and grace into ugliness and narcissism. I'm so tired of seeing Gamergate demonized and misrepresented. Are there some bad people in the movement? Sure, I mean it's big enough that there's a lot of people in it, there's going to be some bad apples, but the majority of people who associate with it and the mission behind it is good. It's about ethics in games journalism, and now it's been about ridding the industry of the political and activism bullshit that is preventing genuine developers to be free to create what they want, without some committee of Karens going over it, deeming it insensitive sensitive to some random demographic and then changing that shit into one of your grocery store aunties. Also, just for your information, it isn't just Gamergate men, okay? It's women too. Women who are sick and tired of not having a single goddamn appealing hero to look up to and cosplay in the Western games industry. Women who, ironically, have more balls than you. But anyway, guys, sorry, let's get back to Paul Tassi. Really, sorry about that. I went on a bit of a tangent here. This is why my videos are so damn long. But anyway, let's get back to Paul Tassi. So basically, all these companies, all these activists, game developers, etc. can be out here openly waging war on beauty and conventional character designs with their own sorts of judgments, where in their mind, they're not going to do it because it represents this, and that's not something that they want to sell. And Paul here will have nothing to say about it, not even a little peep. Maybe even agrees with it and celebrates it, even though, and this is a very important point, these are not just individual decisions that these developers are making for their own games. These are agendas that are being pushed on all studios, pretty much as many studios as they can get their hands on, just as, for example, that list of restrictions applies for studios working on their Xbox. These are things that they are expected to follow, and if they don't, then they're seen negatively, you know, as studios that are pushing negative things onto the games industry or onto society or affecting, Group A or Group B, women or minorities or this or that or the other. This is extremely malicious and it impedes creative freedom, and yet Paul Tassi has nothing to say about it. It's apparently fine. But the moment a smaller AA studio comes out and makes a direct push towards having appealing character designs and justifies it as such because they have their own way that they want to market their games and their own public that they want to appeal to, which is objectively the vast majority of people, Paul Tassi and all these losers just start shitting themselves. Like, that's a bad thing. The other one is not, but this one is. Like, are you serious? Is this some kind of joke? Is this guy huffing industrial fumes or some shit? Like, let's simplify this. The industry spends the last few years saying we're botching female character designs because men bad, and Paul sits there and he claps like a seal because yay, yes! Then CI Games comes out and says, yes, well, we are doing attractive character designs. And this dude just starts shaking and spazzing out in his DX Racer Hello Kitty gaming chair over what is fundamentally a creative difference. Gee, guys, I wonder if there's some kind of bias at play here. Could that be possible? I don't... Nah. Games journalism and biases? Nah. Come on, Des. You're crazy, Des. You're crazy. But whatever, you know what's even funnier though? That's not even what happened. And now the studio's CEO is once again being targeted with manufactured drama and made to look like a gooner. Even from unprofessional ass devs like this one. Look, I like a sexy character as much as the next chronically online gooner, but if I was a dev at that company and my CEO was going around saying this shit, I'd be so embarrassed, dude. LMAO. She also went ahead and took another jab at the entire studio now, saying, can't expect anything less from the dorks comparing getting tattooed to a spiritual Souls-like experience, LOL. Which is referring to a cool thing that the developers did earlier this year at a convention where they set up a tattoo booth. I have no idea what the fuck this even needed to be brought up and made fun of. Like, I have no idea. Actually, let me check something out. Okay, let's see here. Oh, okay, I get it now. Yeah, senior experienced designer at fucking Fortnite, previously at Ubisoft. Well, that shit explains everything, doesn't it? She's just a fucking retard. The whole fucking thing doesn't even make sense. Since when would someone who labels themselves as chronically online gooner would have a problem with the way that the article is written, which is basically talking about having attractive female characters with revealing outfits? Like, that's formal language. This retard just went, I like sexy characters as much as the next chronically online gooner. No, you don't. You're just a poser. You're a classic case of this right here, where you only approve of and consider yourself a gooner as if that was even a fucking thing, if it's something that appeals to you and yours. But if it's something that's out there for what you consider the male gaze, then it's cringe. I'd be so embarrassed. Get the fuck out of here. Looks like that fucking Steve Buscemi meme. Hey fellow gamers, I too enjoy what you enjoy. Realistically fellas, this is all just petty jealousy, because basically while Lords of the Fallen developers have been connecting with their audience over the past year in all things except one, which I'll be bringing up later in this video, morons like this who worked at Ubisoft have been getting alienated because their ideas are unpopular and unfitting. But on to what these morons said about the CEO. All this is about him going around saying, oh, my characters are gonna be hot. This isn't even accurate. What actually happened was the CEO was doing his thing on social media, answering questions about the sequel, and one of the comments asked, I'm going to buy the game, definitely. Will there be attractive female characters and will there be revealing outfits and armors for them? And he simply responded with a yes. That's it. Look at the screen, fellas. That's it. Even in the article they said this. Like, that's it. But the headline phrased it in a much more dubious way, which ends up triggering people like this. People who have been so disconnected from reality, living in their own ridiculous bubbles, brainwashed by all this shit that demonizes beauty and attractiveness, particularly in female characters, and get offended when they see it or when a company uses it as a selling point. Even if the CEO had said this word for word, I wouldn't care. That's marketing. He's smart. He's setting himself aside from the usual Western slop that de-emphasizes female character design in order to blend it in and make it ambiguous game after game. Given the trailer and the screenshots, it isn't even a Gooner game type of thing. It's perfectly tasteful and up-to-player option. It's reminding me of Wu Chang, a Chinese Souls-like that came out in July, in which the protagonist was a very good-looking but not over-the-top female character, and you could wear whatever you wanted. You know, there's full covered sets of armor or more revealing dresses. Player option. Ain't that a beautiful thing, fellas? Too bad out-of-touch individuals like Paul Tassi and the ex-Ubisoft dev, whose name I've already forgotten, aren't fans of that concept. And now that brings us to game number 2, which is the Tomb Raider game that was recently revealed at the Game Awards. This design has been all up and down social media and YouTube making the rounds. Some people are really happy with it, others not so much. And most of the controversy is actually stemming from wokies losing their minds because Lara Croft is back to looking like a woman and wearing what she iconically wore, instead of looking like her Netflix counterpart, Lara Croft. Now that right there is one handsome dude, am I right, ladies? Larry over here could give Ryan Gosling a run for his money. Anyway, I collected a few screenshots of this, but frankly, discourse has been a mess over the last few days and I kind of been getting that Twitter fatigue, so I've been playing some games instead. But let's go through some of these that I collected. Number 1, realism. What the hell is that new Tomb Raider design? Mascara or whatever the fuck it's called in the jungle? In what world is that anywhere close to realistic? They need to bring back the grounded in reality Lara. The hell they do. We had way too much reality Lara already, okay? We got a whole trilogy of games like that, and the Netflix animated show right now. So obsessed with it that they basically thought, well, there's no way where a woman can realistically do all the things that Lara does, so let's just turn it into a whole man. It's not even me saying this, guys, it's Netflix, like what do you want me to do? I also find it so entertaining how realism matters to them when it comes to destroying iconic female character design, but if it comes to representing realism in games or shows set in medieval Europe or fantasy settings that are grounded in European inspiration, such as Witcher or Lord of the Rings, then suddenly realism goes out of the fucking window and they bring out the excuse of, excuse me, there are elves and dragons in this movie. Elves and dragons are believable, but now non-binary disabled persons of color with vitiligo is where you draw the line. Okay, bigot. So excuse me for a second as I use the same excuse right now. This is a series of games where Lara fights dinosaurs and a little bit of makeup on her face is what's making you shit yourself? Look at this fine pillar of intelligence right here. Oof, this new design for Lara Croft is really jarring. I joked that she looks like those anti-woke Facetune photos of making gaming characters hot again, but I don't know if it's a joke anymore. What do you mean she's fighting for her life and has a thick set of falsies? To all the men in my audience right now, just for context, falsies means eyelashes. Yeah, I didn't know that either. I had to consult with my girlfriend. She thinks it's eyelashes that this moron is talking about. Which is funny because they're not even exaggerated. Like, what are we talking about here? I swear to God, man, people like this are insufferable. When it's a guy, like when it's a man making dumbass comments about women like this, it's excusable because it's like, oh, there he goes, a brain-rotten dude, bro. He doesn't even know what women look like. But when it's women, it's so insufferable because it's like, well, my eyelashes are non-existent, which means every other woman that has them has to have fake ones on. It's the dude equivalent of me like being fat and lazy or something, then I see a picture of Henry Cavill and I go, fake. Fake as fuck, he's wearing a muscle shirt. I don't look like that, so clearly, neither does anyone else. Okay, nice try, Henry. Nice, I know fake muscles when I see them, brother. Brother?
Hey, Des. Why you looking at Henry Cavill's muscles? Were you gay or something?
You shut your goddamn mouth. Also, please, by all means, let me bring the old reliable again. We're fighting dinosaurs and Egyptian gods, and you draw your line at eyelashes? What are you Here's another deluded moron somehow raking in over 3 million views on a post. Is it woke if I say that I find 2015 Lara Croft more attractive because she looks like a real human instead of a supermodel?
What are you, fucking stupid?
First of all, you fucking tourist, it's 2013 Lara. Second of all, what are you talking about? That's a supermodel? A normal looking woman these days is a supermodel now? These people can't be for real, man, I swear. Here's another soy boy. They take this same picture of her and go, I hate male gaze Lara. Male gaze. This totally normal, totally inconspicuous design for Lara is now considered male gaze. I swear to God, I don't know if I can finish this video, guys. I'm serious now. I honestly already said this a while back during the recording, but I deleted it because I was like, come on, shut up, let's just get this done. But now I'm serious. I think I'm incurring some serious brain damage over here. And I don't know, man. I just can't with this. This is the kind of thing that'll get me staring at my ceiling and wondering if it was a mistake to learn the English language. I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back.
You know, you may say you're going too far with you, bro, but it's the truth. These are just horrible. I mean, horrible.
Let's talk Lara Croft for a bit, okay? Just to close the video off. If we get real, this new design of Lara is still not even close to classic Lara, nor most of the history of Lara's designs that we've had. Is it far better than the previous one in the Survivor trilogy? Yes. I like the trilogy, by the way. I'm not against taking something classic and changing it for a new original side production. But the key word is side production. Basically, you take a franchise that already exists and that is doing fine just as it is, and you make something new but different in it. You expand its universe a little bit, or maybe you use it. You don't canonize it, but you use it to tell your own little original side story. I think that shit, you know, it would have been a dream for me. All kinds of franchises with rich worlds and lore could have benefited from this. Stuff like Fallout, Dragon Age, Mass Effect, etc. But sadly, corporate culture is so retarded that you basically can never have nice things. Those nice things will always end up inevitably being abused and made into mistakes. So I stopped dreaming about that idea, and I started gatekeeping instead. It's just the way it is. People ahead of these franchises literally don't have enough of a high IQ to understand the concept of keeping a franchise intact while doing side games that play differently. So eventually, would just become a war to change the core of the franchise to whatever was more accessible, easy, and profitable. So with the Survivor games, I liked them, and I liked the idea of them being a different and more grounded take on Lara Croft's origins, basically, right? That's basically what it was. But now, despite still liking the games, I resent them a bit because there's a major push towards completely ditching the classic Lara and turn her into something that she's not. Basically go full Survivor trilogy, which is not what Tomb Raider is. And the Netflix Lara design is even goddamn worse, so let's not even talk about that. This new design is not the classic Lara. We're not there yet, and honestly guys, I don't know if we're going to get there anytime soon. It's either going to take another decade of shutting down studios, or I don't know, maybe China has to do their own Lara Croft game. But either way, what we got is like a hybrid between both worlds, blending the groundedness that we got with some classic elements from before. Classic Lara looked like this. She was far more striking, but still, I'm very satisfied with the current design, especially because of moments like these from the trailer running in the background of the video right now. That's what kind of sold me on her. It was to see the return of the dual-wielded pistols and their classic acrobatics, which are so goddamn important to her character and that the Survivor trilogy totally missed. Lara's movements are central to her character. She doesn't move like in the trilogy with all those scattered, jittery moves which were clearly there to make her look like an amateur just scraping by. Real Lara Croft isn't just scraping by, she's thriving. She doesn't move like a fucking man either though, you know what I mean? Like in the Netflix show. She moves with grace, style, and yes, femininity. I know this makes a lot of people seethe, but it's the truth. Take these movements and put them on Nathan Drake and that would look hilariously out of place, because they are inherently feminine-coded movements. You know, saying this out loud is reminding me of saying, this is what it is, okay fellas? This is what that would look like right here, okay? Here you go.
Ah, fresh air, freedom, and darkness. Perfect. How shall we celebrate? I know a couple of poor, defenseless museums, but then again, I also know a couple of hotels.
Tonight's not over yet. There's more work to be done.
Of course there is. You do know how to kill the mood. Do you ever take the night off? Do you ever take the suit off?
Not on nights like this, Selena. It's what I do.
Fine. I guess I'll hit an art gallery or two, while the big bad bat's distracted.
So yeah, if we get real here, this is actually a very tame version of Lara Croft. It's a hybrid between the classic look with the new grounded look, and even then they're still mad. They're still mad over it because she literally just looks like a woman now. Not like a supermodel with wild curves and all manner of exposed body parts, nor a massive bust size. Like the bust size is actually quite nerfed in comparison. So genuinely guys, I don't understand what the hell is going on. Like these people are acting like she looks like Eve from Stellar Blade. Like, if you want to spaz out and lose your fucking mind, like
Godzilla is approaching the generator! The generator is losing power!
Then go right ahead. I know this stuff triggers you. I know it's stuff. I know how you cope. I know how you see it. I know it's hard. I know the stuff. It fiddles with your brains. I know. But do it with Eve and with the most revealing outfits in that game. Not with this tame iteration of the Tomb Raider, because that just makes you guys look totally insane. Like, what are you drinking? Piss? It's a normal girl with normal proportions. If this is your reaction to that, like, are you okay? Can you go outside and be around women? Like, it's ironic whenever this discussion is brought up, we usually hear the classic, "You've never even seen a real woman." Like, I'm getting seriously concerned with these people. Either they are legitimately, like, stuck inside, terminally online, or they got brain damage. If these people ever visit Portugal in the summer, they're going to have an aneurysm or some shit. I mean, honestly, if they visit Portugal in the winter, even then they may just spaz out. Even then they may have like a seizure or something. And oh my god, never mind Brazil. If they go to Brazil during Carnival, it's over. Bro, I'm serious, it's over. It's done. You know what I mean? Like, done, over. They're not gonna make it over there, dude. There's a serious epidemic of people being way too shoved into their echo chambers. But anyway, sorry, let's close up the video like I said. Outside of that, I do hope these games end up being good. I'm starving for a really good action adventure with fun platforming, so I'd love for these Tomb Raider games to be great, but I think we saw them line up, two of them, like one after the other, back to back, 1 year apart, and that makes me a little suspicious that it's just not enough time to get them running properly. And I have the same concern with Lords of the Fallen too. The first one, well, you know, the reboot of the first one, released in 2023. That's just 2 years ago, and they've been working hard at updating it ever since, because the reviews were basically mixed. People liked various elements of it, but there was still too much that was keeping them from fully recommending the game or for big streamers to stick with it until the end. So they spent the last 2 years hard at work overhauling the game, releasing this major Lords of the Fallen 2.0 update just this year around April, so April 2025. And now the sequel is supposedly already set for next year, 2026? Let's just say I'm a bit skeptical, but I do wish them all the best because I see them actually wanting to do away with political correctness influences on their studio and the games industry in general. However, they went and shot themselves in the foot regardless through another avenue, which was going for Epic Game Store exclusivity on PC. So instead of Steam, it'll be releasing on EGS, and usually it's probably a temporary deal, but still, it sucks. Like right now, the main platforms where most traffic goes through is the PC and PlayStation, and with this deal, there's already a bunch of people on PC crossing the game off, pretending like it won't exist until it lands on Steam. Much like whenever a studio does political correctness and screws up their game in a way that makes gamers not care because there's way too many other games to pick and choose from, the concept works exactly the same for issues like this, such as going exclusive on Epic. I want to wish them all the best regardless and remain hopeful that their game does well. They seem like really cool people. Epic Games deals don't tend to spark good numbers. Whenever the games release on Steam, they kind of get buried by whatever is new a year or more later, but I don't pretend to know whether it's worth it or not because I have no idea how much money Epic is swinging around for these exclusivity deals. I just wish that Epic made their store more naturally appealing instead of throwing that money around. But anyway, fellas, that's it from me today. I gotta go back to playing some more games from 2025 that I neglected so I can keep working on my end of year videos, where I will be either doing a video like last year titled 2025 in Gaming, where I go through, you know, month by month touching on the most relevant releases and dramas in a very long video, or a separate version where I do a long video with the top 10 worst games and top 10 best games, and then another separate video covering the controversies. Sort of like the Angry Joe thing that he used to do before he lost his mind or whatever he's doing these days, I don't know. Let me know your preference in the comments, please, so that I have maybe a little bit of, you know, insight. Besides that, like the video if you enjoyed it, dislike it if you didn't. Thank you all very much for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing too. We just hit 25,000 the other day. It's the perfect way to end the year, so thanks again for sticking around, and yeah, that's about it. I'll see you boys and gals on the next one. Take care.